Hey guys, welcome back to Carib 21 Network, wherever you're watching from in the Caribbean or in the diaspora. So today I continue to give an update on Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. And if you are a Jamaican in the diaspora, like myself, you probably did not sleep. Like I've been up for more than 25 hours, not sleeping because, most of my family back home, I'm not in touch with them right now because they would have lost their electricity and lost cell phone service. So we just pray that everything will be okay for everyone that's watching this. And if you are in the same position like me, that you are not able to speak to your family at the moment, we just pray that things will work out. We know that it made landfall, and I've been tracking the system all day, and for the most part, I've been able to see what's going on in Kingston. And Kingston, there are people in Kingston which still have power and still have cell phone service. But like for example, like my grandmother, she's in Mandeville, and they lost power from last night, and it's just crazy because she's celebrating her 102nd birthday. Um, Next week, November, and she's stuck without power now. So hopefully everything is okay with the family. Hopefully everything is okay with your family also. If you have not heard from them in Jamaica, we know that Mandeville, we know that Westmoreland, we know that a lot of those places got pretty much beat down. Um, Negril, like I'm hearing that Negril is like, man, I don't know, it's like near to completely wiped out. So I'm just hoping and praying that it is not as bad as it seemed, because we're getting reports that it is worse than Katrina. And we know Katrina with New Orleans, it was 1,300 people lost their life in Katrina. So I'm hoping that it is nothing compared to that. But the winds that we're seeing from in especially Westmoreland and that side, Negril, it is not looking good. As I said, I hope and I pray that for who's watching, if you have your family in Jamaica and you have not been able to be in touch with them, hopefully that we can hear something from our family in the next couple of days. I know some parts of Jamaica, as I said, like Westmoreland and Mandeville and those areas that lost power like from yesterday, early last night. I don't know when, but hopefully we can hear from our family soon. And as I promised, I was going to do some update on and track how people advise people how you can donate. And what is good is that the Jamaican government, they developed a website for donation, and it came on stream this morning. So we're hearing reports that there are people, fraudulent people out there already. We know that that would happen. So if you are looking for an easy way to contribute to the rebuilding of Jamaica, I would suggest that you go on this site, and it's support Jamaica.gov.ja. And I'm going to make it bigger on the screen so you can see it. And it is a very easy to manage, as you can see there. Donate, and a lot of the other features are for Jamaicans home looking for a shelter, or trying to update the emergency relief. People of emergency situation, they can go on and upload videos of areas that have been cut off so that emergency crew can get to them. But this is amazing for the government, for them to be able to put this together like pretty much in one day. So there you can see the donate now, and you can put in your credit card information, your name, and everything. And as I said, it's support Jamaica.gov.ja. And yes, so this is an easy way to support Jamaica. If you are Jamaican in the diaspora, you're friends of Jamaicans, and you are looking to support, don't get caught up in anybody that want to scam, just go to the official government website. And as I said, in the diaspora, in North America in particular, you're able to go to any Jamaican association. I will be making contact with the Jamaican Canadian Association tomorrow because I know that they're always active in situations like this. So I'll be making connection and leaving more information of how Jamaicans living in Canada can reach out to the Jamaica Canadian Association, because while you can send money via this the government website, we're going to need a lot of non-perishable items and stuff like that, and that is where like the Jamaica Canadian Association comes in. That is where the Jamaican Association, the Florida chapter, the New York chapter, Atlanta, and as I stated yesterday, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, they have an organization called ADRA, and they are very, very active in Jamaica. So if you are anywhere in North America and you are close to a Seventh-day Adventist Church, you can call them, you can drop in, and you can ask about. You can get some information on how you can support sending non-perishable stuff back to Jamaica. So I just wanted to give an update on that, and just some more update from the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the government officials on what is going on in Jamaica right now and what the relief effort is going to look like.
I just wanted to note, given that we have a lot of our members of the diaspora on, you've been asking a lot about how you can support Jamaica. Just noting that I'm very, very pleased this morning to announce the launch of our Support Jamaica website. It is supportjamaica.gov.jm. We've already been made aware of some nefarious individuals trying to collect money on behalf of Jamaica. We remind you that this will be the official site. If it doesn't have .gov.jm, it is not legitimate. It's not an official government of Jamaica site. And so it will be supportjamaica.gov.jm, and it will be our online platform developed by the government of Jamaica to mobilize support, to channel relief, and coordinate recovery efforts in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. In it, you're going to have a donate now page where you can donate using your credit or debit cards, and you will also be able to give pledges. You also have all the information on OddPEM's bank accounts. If you want to do a bank transfer, you can do so there. A new innovation on that site is that you will be able to give updates on emergencies. So if there's an issue that you see in your area, you want to upload a picture, maybe there is flooding, maybe there is a town that has been cut off, you can actually notify us through that website also. It also has an interactive shelter locator for those who may need it. Even if you have to help someone to find a shelter, please use it. It will give you all the shelters that are near you. You can actually put in what parish you're in or what area you're in, and you can geolocate. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tony. All right. We had a quick power outage, but we are back up here. Just noting again that you can find shelters. They are on that site, supportjamaica.gov.jm, and so it is all about mobilizing resources. So it's a resource for those locally and also for those in the diaspora and anywhere in the world that wants to give support to Jamaica. Again, the website is supportjamaica.gov.jm, and it was created overnight, updated in basically a day. The developers spent a day working on it, and we want to thank them. And it was donated to us by Amber Group in consultation with other members of the team and other private sector partners.
Joining us now from Kingston, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for joining us today. You say that you're worried about the island's ability to withstand this storm. Explain exactly why.
Well, there's no island in the Caribbean, in fact, this entire region, where the infrastructure could withstand a Category 5 hurricane without significant damage. We went through Berry last year. We had an impact with Beryl that was a category 4, and we had significant damage to infrastructure, particularly roofs, our road network, our electricity grid. But since then, we've learned, and we have improved our infrastructure, particularly our electrical grid, our communications network. But our road infrastructure would be severely impacted by a category 5. In terms of residential infrastructure, without doubt, there will be a number of roofs lost, possibly total loss of housing in the areas that are specifically impacted, which would be the southern end of the island, specifically the parish of St. Elizabeth, and possibly even greater damage in Westmoreland, Hanover, parts of Manchester, St. James, and Trelawney. So we are expecting that there will be significant damage, even catastrophic damage, but our preparations and our plans for the immediate recovery have been well put together and well executed. So we expect that we will be able to mount humanitarian and relief program immediately after. Of course, thankfully, the international community has come on board in a big way, and we have commitments of support already established. So we should be able to launch our recovery process very quickly after the storm is past.
Can you give us a sense of how things stand right now, what the weather is like outside, and where you're coming to us from?
Well, I'm in Kingston, and there are squalls, high winds at time, and now consistent rainfall. We have some reports of flooding. But the real area, the ground zero of this event, is in the southwestern end of the island. So parts of Clarendon, which got the brunt of the Hurricane Beryl last year, would be getting some impact again this year. And St. Elizabeth, as I had mentioned before, that's where the hurricane would have made landfall. We have heard that winds are over 165 miles per hour. There's really nothing that can withstand that kind of wind without damage. So we have already conceded that there will be significant damage in the path that the eye would take, and we are prepared to address those issues as they arise.
The housing stock in Jamaica is greatly varied. There are some, very sturdy structures, and there are others that really aren't much more than some corrugated roof panels. Have you been able to get to those places where people are in particularly vulnerable housing or situations and convince them to get into shelters?
Well, this storm lingered on the coast of Jamaica for a few days. And even before that, we started our preparation in informing our citizens. There is no citizen that can say that they were not properly informed of the danger. I believe we scaled the intensity and severity of the storm to what is actually occurring now. So no one can say that they were misled or they underestimated it. We did put in place a mandatory evacuation order. We provided buses, and we have over 800 shelters, most of which are activated. The last time I've seen we're seeing now an increase in take-up of persons going to the shelters, but not to the extent that we would be satisfied that those who really need the shelter took up the shelter facility. So there are Jamaicans now who are in harm's way by virtue of the decisions that they would have made. My advice to them now is to stay inside, protect life. There's very little that can be done now in a Category 5 storm where the impact is direct that could save property. So let's keep safe. As soon as possible, we are positioned to conduct search and rescue and other humanitarian relief, and to clear roads to give access to communities that may have been marooned as a result of this.
Do you foresee this being a problem for the entirety of the island, or just as you were talking about, the southwest being hit the hardest?
Well, again, just to scale the impact. all of Jamaica has been declared a disaster area under our legislative framework, which empowers the government to put certain measures in place, including emergency measures. So this means that all of Jamaica is experiencing some form of impact of a natural disaster. So where I am in Kingston, where the impact is less, as I said earlier, it's rain and wind, some amount of flooding, minor landslides. I have not heard much about roofs being dislocated or structures damaged. But as you move to the south of the island, the impact will be far worse. And the reports I've gotten from the heads of the agencies responsible for our disaster preparedness and the elected representatives of the area is that St. Elizabeth is particularly impacted. The Black River area, which is the capital of that parish, that has been severely impacted. I will be getting reports later on as the storm moves across the island. It is a slow-moving system. And so this is another dimension of the hurricane which we have to pay attention to, that the longer it stays, the more water it will shed on the island, and the longer the winds will stay, so the greater the impact. So the area of direct impact, ground zero of this hurricane, there will be devastation.